Welcome everybody to a special edition of Under Construction, man. I met this young man, Joseph Abehsera, on Twitter, man, and I got into the NBA Top Shot trend on Clubhouse, man, just kind of listening to people, man, and I bought my first pack and I've been addicted. And one of the first people I followed was Joseph, and we got Joseph here today just to kind of talk to us about Top Shot and explain everything. So Joseph, man, just kind of introduce yourself, man, and how you got started in Top Shot.
Yeah, so my name is Joseph, as you know. Thank you for the introduction.
No problem, man.
I joined Top Shot in around December. It's crazy because at that time I still thought I was a little bit late, but now I realized shortly after that even still now we're still completely early. And wow. It's crazy how at that time I noticed that some of those prices were literally like, I'd say that like they were at $80, $50 that are now selling for thousands, upwards of like 5K, 6K, 7K, and you could have literally bought them for like under $100 then. It was crazy. It's just crazy how much NFTs and Top Shot as a whole just grew. But what happened with me is I noticed in December when I did join, I said, I really recognize the potential in the future for this thing. Mm-hmm. I totally am for the virtual world growing and the internet just expanding. And I found that NFTs were a perfect outlet for me to just expand the internet even further. So for those who are not familiar with NFT, I mean, do you want me to explain like NFTs, or would you want me to?
Yeah, man, just kind of explain NFTs and how it relates to Top Shot and it basically what is NBA Top Shot.
Okay, cool. So I'll first talk about NFTs so that that'll explain NBA Top Shot a little bit better. An NFT is it essentially stands for a non-fungible token. Mm-hmm. It's a really complicated name for no reason. Non-fungible just really means that it's never able to be changed or replaced. Okay. So non-fungible physical items would be like, I mean, the Mona Lisa. Any painting that has a signature makes it non-fungible because even if you print that photo, it's not the real photo.
It's a replica.
It's a replica. You got to have the real thing. So the way that these paintings or these Top Shot highlights or moments are being sold as non-fungible tokens, they connect that clip or that image to a blockchain network. And the thing about the blockchain network is, with the blockchain network, you can never replace, take away anything from the blockchain. It's a network of a bunch of numbers, and it's completely complicated. I don't even understand it fully, but you're unable to take anything or change anything with that's in the blockchain. Once it's in the blockchain, it can only be given out, never taken or changed. So that's how it has that stamp and that security, like insurance, that it's one of one. So with NBA Top Shot, what they do is they actually connect a highlight, and they'll mint, which means they'll just create the NFT, a bunch of serial numbers within the blockchain. So when you own an NBA Top Shot highlight, you own a serial number, almost like a coin, with an NBA coin, essentially. So your unique highlight lives within the blockchain, can never be changed. It's public. The blockchain's public, so everyone can see what's going on. And that's what creates its security. Your highlight is singular to the blockchain and has security and can never be changed. And that's what gives you that like unique ownership on NBA Top Shot.
Wow. And so when did NBA Top Shot kind of first begin? And is it partnered and licensed by the NBA?
It is partners. Yes. So it began last season. I believe it was in the middle of last season. If I could double check on that soon, but I know it began last season. So that's the season of 2019, or 2020. Sorry. And when they do have the licensing with the NBA, they are affiliated with the NBA 100%. So when you do own a highlight, the NBA has their agreement. They have an agreement together that you are allowed to own that highlight. You can post it on social media. You can. Well, it's yours. You own it. So you just don't have royalties, obviously, because you don't own the rights to the moment, but you do own the actual moment. It's very unique. It's a very interesting concept.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, man, I'm on the Top Shot website, and I see Dapper. So, what exactly is Dapper?
Okay, so Dapper is the company that owns Top Shot. So they created a coin called Flow, and many people know about Bitcoin and they know about Ethereum. You probably know about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yep. So Ethereum runs Well, Ethereum runs most NFTs that are, I would say, existing right now. It's the most popular coin to run to like serve for NFTs. But Dapper, they created a couple years back something called CryptoKitties, and they were using the Ethereum network for CryptoKitties, and they shut down the Ethereum network because of how popular their CryptoKitties website was doing. And it's just NFTs of photos and images of virtual kitties, and people are just trading them all the time, and it's made by Dapper. So Roham, the CEO of Dapper, decided, you know what, I'm just going to make my own coin. He made Flow, and it serves it pretty much runs similarly to Ethereum, and he has his own licensing now with the NBA, CryptoKitties. He has UFC, a bunch of people that are just awesome, and that he's going to work with and make NFTs for.
Gotcha. So, how has the market been for NBA Top Shot since its inception? Is it consistently growing, or is it kind of flattening out? What's your opinion on that?
So like I said earlier, from when I've seen it, it grew like I'd say 10, 20 times. It's insane how much it grew in a short 3 month span, like 3 months. Of time span that it's been getting popularized. So we've seen like crazy amounts of growth. There are obviously times where the market will crash. Well, you have it's like any market. You'll see the stock market, coins in general. There are bearish days and there are bullish days, which essentially means you're gonna have good and bad days. So, for example, yesterday wasn't the greatest day. If you noticed, there were some series 2 moments, even series 1 moments that went down. But today was a great day. The Seeing Stars collection went up today. I know a lot of people that were just they had a great day today because the market's up today. It's pretty much how it works. But as a long-term trajectory, you notice that there was a huge rise, and then it slowly rolled up. But it's as a whole, it keeps on going upwards with the ups and downs. It's pretty much how any good company will work, It's not a straight upward line,
Gotcha. So let me ask you a question, man. So when you sign up for this and you have to, and you try to get packs, so can you explain to people what exactly packs are and and how many moments come in within each pack?
Mm-hmm. So there are different packs. You have different tiers. The lowest tier is a common pack.
Okay.
Common packs, I believe they come with 5 moments. Sometimes I think it's possible that they sometimes come with 3. I'm not sure about that. I think I might have gotten 3, but for the most part they come with 5 moments. And what those moments will usually be out of is they'll either be out of 15. Let's say 15,000 moments, even moments minted of that particular highlight, or sometimes even 35,000. And commons can have CC, which means that they're still being printed. So that means that it could grow from 35,000 to 50,000.
Okay.
Being minted, and then they also have LE moments, which means they're limited edition. So you can get those in a common. They're usually not the most expensive or rare or most sought out packs you would moments that you would want to get, but those are obviously good, huge come ups. They cost $9 to $15, and you can make anywhere within hundreds of dollars just by getting those packs, which is awesome. There are rare packs which range from $100 per pack to $200 per pack, even more, $230 per pack. And what you'll notice about the rare packs is that they contain common moments in it, 6 common moments in it, but they also will have a moment which will be very limited, and it will contain the moment will have the highlight will have little rings around it, which will signify that it is a rare moment. So packs essentially just come with, you buy them at a certain price that NBA Top Shot or Dapper has priced them at, and then you get moments within that pack, and they come with commons, and they will come with at least 1 rare if it's a rare pack. There's legendaries as well, which come with 11 total moments, and then they will come with 1 legendary card, and they would also come with rare cards, but also commons. So within every pack, you can get good and bad cards. It's almost like a sports deck, but you're always bound to get, with the legendary or the rare, you're always bound to get at least 1 legendary, 1 rare card. The legendary packs actually cost over $1,000, which is crazy, because when you think about that, you're spending $1,000 on a virtual pack, but what can come inside of it, or what does come inside of it, is worth it, which makes it have that demand, and why it sells out right away.
So you can so essentially with a legendary pack, you can really get your money back off of one card, essentially.
Yeah, one card you could pay $1,000 for that pack, and that one legendary card that will come in that pack can probably make double, triple your profits. It just long term, it could, you never know. It could even be long term, it could even be even more. It's just investments, you know. It all depends on what you get, and the most important part is having fun, obviously, with it, not like making the money, but it's just an awesome it's just so awesome. Like a legendary, I would love to buy. Even though it's $1,000, I would love to buy a legendary. It's like, you know, like you were talking about earlier. It's long term. You never know what that could be worth. That legendary.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, man, look, man. Me and a couple of my friends have been talking, man. So, luckily, I was able to get a pack my second and third time trying.
Yeah.
And so the last 3 or 4 times, man, I kind of struck out. And so, like, we have this theory, like, okay, so we get in the line, like, so a pack drops at 1 p.m. We get in the line at 12:45. I mean, not 12:45, but 12:15. And when they assign numbers, like, I'm sure I was there early enough. I will get the number, like, I'm 183,000. Is the numbers really randomized?
Yeah, so they're extremely randomized. I've known people who they've joined 15 minutes before the actual drop, even though the queue was opened up for 45 minutes, and they got it and I didn't get it. It just shows being early is obviously good, because it's just like it's important to come early and join the queue early, and just really, like, I think it might change in the future, in my opinion. Okay. The earlier, like, it matters how early you come, but as of right now, it's completely randomized, and you get you're pretty much numbered. I think within those, like, few minutes before the actual drop happens, that's when you're giving your number. And there's no way to people always ask me, I get DMs all the time on my Instagram and my Twitter, and they're like, how do I assure myself that I get a pack drop? How do I make sure that I win? Are there any tricks? And the thing about this is that there's not a single trick. This is the most fair system I have ever seen in purchasing items. There's no bots that you could do to cheat it. They've created an extremely fair, randomized system where everyone has an equal chance of getting a pack, which is awesome. It's like something I've never seen before.
Gotcha. So look, so you mentioned kind of like when the blockchain creates the actual moment and it has a serial number. So do those serial numbers technically matter? Like, would you prefer a number 500 out of 100,000 or something like that card, or opposed to like 1,000 out of 1,000 or something like that?
Yeah. So the way that the marketplace has decided the serial numbers, how, like, the hierarchy of serial numbers, they've decided that the lower the serial number, as in like the 1, 2, 3, 4, like the lower the number, the more value the card will have. So you'll see with pretty much most of the moments that are on Top Shot, if you check the sales history, the top sale will always be a low serial number, or on the other hand, the last serial number. So let's just say the card is at a 2,000. The serial number 2,000 will also have high demand. Yeah, it will. So the serial numbers in between, though, and the higher the serial number, those are the ones that will pretty much sell for the lowest price. But 1 through 20, 1 through 40, those are always going to be listed for, well, in the thousands range. Whether or not the moment is selling for $100, $10, those low serial numbers are really what you're always looking for and what you strive to get.
So man, I have a Tyler Herro rare card, and it's like one of, like, I'm gonna give it to you, man, and I just want to kind of get your assessment on, like, what it's worth. So I think it was in the Rising Star Series 2 pack.
Yeah,
and it's number 159 out of 2021.
Wow. Okay. So that is actually an amazing serial number. Well, like, obviously you want to get the 1 through 20, 1 through 50, but just in general, if I had a Tyler Herro serial number 1,500, you would make way more money than I would.
Oh, wow.
You would make, you can, yours, if you listed it at the same price as mine at 1,500, yours would sell immediately. It would get picked up right away. And that's actually a mistake that a lot of people make. They have a great serial number. They check the lowest ask and they just list it for the same price as the lowest ask without realizing it. And then it sells immediately because somebody just picked it up and got a great steal. And they lost out on hundreds of dollars. So,
wow.
Yeah, like that's a great pickup. It's crazy because, like, you could pick up the same moment, the same highlight, and just by having a serial number, your profits and your value is completely different. That's what's cool about this. So
Wow. So you just basically advised me to hold on to that card for dear life.
yeah, it's a great
Sit
card.
on it. Just sit on it.
Sit on.
So I'm rooting for Tyler Herro to become an all-star,
Yeah.
Hall of Famer, MVP guy.
Hopefully. I love Tyler. He's cool.
And so, man, so like I'm looking at the marketplace and stuff like that, and I'm hearing people talk about challenges. So, like, what are these challenges? Like, is it a series of cards, or how does that work?
So these challenges are actually they're placed by Dapper and NBA Top Shot themselves. And what they do is they give you a time frame, which will be, let's just say it's 10 days, to own a certain amount of a certain like preset like sum of cards. So let's just say you need to own 10 cards, and within those 10 cards will be I don't know, the Rising Stars, for example. You'll have your Tyler Herro, you'll have a LaMelo Ball, you'll have a James Wiseman, etc. Bunch of rookies. And if you do own those moments, all those 10 required moments, they will grant you at the end of the 10 days a reward of a Anthony Edwards amazing dunk or whatever it is.
Wow.
So it even makes your chances of getting so your moments they already are rare. So let's just say those moments that are in those 10 requirements are out of 2,000. So that means that the max that can complete this challenge are 2,000 people. So obviously not all 2,000 are going to complete this challenge because it's very expensive and it's very pricey. So that rewarded card becomes the most rare card in that whole series, if that makes sense.
Oh, wow.
So they're within the same series. So let's just say only 500 people unlock that card. You'll have within the same series a card that only has 500 minted moments. Like, so that's what it gives. Like, it gives you opportunity to own extremely rare cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, man, I've seen people talk about unopened packs, basically. And I've been on eBay and I've seen people trying to sell their packs through eBay, basically a third party.
Yeah.
Do you recommend that? And does Dapper allow that on their website as of now, just to kind of sell unopened packs to people?
So I know that Dapper is actually looking to incorporate within their website in the future, reselling packs in the marketplace.
Oh, wow.
So that's why people hold their packs, because they are looking to sell it well in the future. So those people that are selling it on eBay, there's no actual way for them to send the pack over to the buyer. They have to, either, I guess, FaceTime or go on live, and that person just will watch them open the pack, and then they'll gift them all the moments. But other than that, like those third party like selling packs, they can be very suspicious. I get a lot of messages all the time about people claiming they're selling packs, and I know that they're scamming. There's no safe way to purchase a pack on a third party. So if you want to hold a pack to sell it in the future with the actual marketplace of Top Shot and Dapper, that could be a huge come up. I know that there are some people that are looking to hold their rare packs from this series because they think that in 5 years down the line from now, somebody will want to buy it because of how valuable the cards are that you can get in that pack, because they'll be way down the line. So I wouldn't buy with third party unless you really like trust that person. I don't know how Roham and Dapper feels about that. They aren't completely against it. They don't completely hate it, but I do know that there's no way to safely buy a pack. You're not going to actually physically open the pack in your account. Yeah, it's not so legitimate in my opinion.
Gotcha. I understand. And you were kind of speaking on the marketplace. Some of the complaints I get from people and I've heard is that it's consistently down. You mentioned to me earlier that kind of just kind of offline that they're still in beta. Yeah. So when do you think they will go live, and what are they doing to kind of actually fix the problem?
So you'll notice there are huge problems with withdrawing. So that's a major issue that I realize is affecting the marketplace, is that people weren't allowed to withdraw, which it caused some sort of fear within the community. But you are able to withdraw now, and people are gaining access to withdrawing every day now. Dapper is really good with their customer service. Roham goes on the Discord and he individually respond, to people on the Discord. Customer service is great. But as a marketplace, I've noticed that the prices are going down. It's because most people don't realize that this is a long-term game. So
yeah,
it's hard to open a sports card, right? And then to get a really average, boring sports card and then expect it to go up in value in the future. As more sports cards or more moments are going to be minted, you need to hold on to those valuable ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as a whole, the marketplace is just going to get larger and larger, which means the prices are going to go more down and down, right? You need to have those $1 cards for a healthy market, because if it's not for those $1 cards, then it's almost impractical that every card is worth over $100 when there's no. That's where people always talk about how Top Shot is just people reselling to each other to make money. When you have those regular moments selling for over $100, that is exactly the case. But if you have cheaper moments that are less sought out, like the same way you have sports cards that, well, everyone owns sports cards that no one's going to buy because they're just not special. It's the same thing that's going to be with Top Shot. You're going to have moments that are not memorable, not rare enough, not a cool player that eventually will get forgotten about in the future. So people shouldn't expect that their regular moments go up in value that are not special. They should expect that their special moments, or the moments of their favorite player, or the players with the highest demand or the highest fan base, go up in value. That's like the best thing best way I could answer to those people that are like worried about the marketplace like going down and how it shifts every day and changes.
Gotcha. So people, look, that LaMelo Ball card will always have value, but that Nick Batum card won't.
Yeah, it won't. Like, you got a rookie LaMelo Ball. Like, I can't. Let's just say LaMelo goes into the Hall of Fame. You got a rookie moment right there. Like, that's gonna go up in value. That could sell for tens of thousands of dollars. But a regular Mason Plumlee layup, I'm not sure much people are gonna be thinking about that in a couple of years. You know, it's
maybe a couple of Duke fans, but I really don't see it. I really don't see it.
Yeah.
So, man, look, man. I read somewhere that they've had over $230 million in sales since their inception. And basically a LeBron James highlight sold for $200K plus.
Yeah.
Like, the money just kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
So, like, what are some of the top moments that are for sale on the market right now?
Yeah. So, well, that LeBron holo icon, I think that's the one that was selling for 200 plus. I believe it sold for 200 plus, I think 2 or 3 times. That's the most, I'd say that is the most sought out moment there is on Top Shot right now. But some of the craziest moments that you could buy on Top Shot are the Zion block. It was a crazy block. He literally elevates, he goes up in the air like 13 feet and he just slams that ball into the stands. That just sold, I think, 3 days ago for 115K, I believe, or over 100K.
Wow.
The most expensive card besides the LeBron James moment that sold was that moment right there. Just the most like legendary moments that you could think of. Those are the ones that are the most expensive. Also, the Vince Carter. I don't know if you've noticed. There's a Vince Carter, his last points in the NBA. So,
really?
Yeah. So they have his last points in the NBA, and that's listed at like some crazy price as well. It's a legendary moment, I believe. And it's just like, these are like the ones with the high demand, because the LeBron James moment is not just a regular dunk. It actually is it was during the Kobe tribute game. He did a Kobe tribute dunk. So that's the actual highlight. So people, that's memorable for a long term. So people that are buying it for 215K, they want to own the moment, and there's long-term potential for that moment. It's just super memorable. And it was such emotional game.
Yeah.
So it definitely and that play was just emotional. He just copied Kobe's dunk. Little tribute. It was awesome.
Big tribute. So, man, I got a question for you, man. So we haven't really seen any older players as much. Is Dapper and Top Shot gonna dip into the archival footage and just kind of do individualized contracts with the retired players league or something like that? Because I personally would pay top dollar for a Kobe Bryant moment.
Me too. I'm on the same wave.
I would pay top dollar for a MJ moment or a Hakeem Olajuwon moment, even a Shaq moment.
Yeah, I would. I agree with you 100%. So I recently saw a statement where they do have moments from previous seasons. It's in the Run It Back series. Okay. So Run It Back is basically just that's what's the actual emblem on the moment, and it's all throwback plays. So they have over there, they have some current players that were like, they have KD, a buzzer beater, I believe against the Raptors. That sells for like upwards of 17K right now. It's in the Run It Back series.
Wow.
They have some Amari Stoudemire. They have a bunch of random Run It Back. It's not like no MJ yet, no Kobe yet, but I do know that they have the ability and the licensing to post old previous plays from previous seasons. So when you do see that MJ and that Kobe, I think that's when you're going to start seeing even bigger records break. Actually, that's why I like being in beta. Like, it's just funny because even their Run It Back moments, they haven't even released like the special ones that the world would want to own, you know? So it just shows you how much, because they have the ability to post previous plays from previous seasons, it just shows you how much this thing can grow and how this is literally the beginning. That's like, it's almost proof right there that this thing can explode as soon as they start to really push and get out of beta, and they start pushing the Kobe moments, they start pushing the MJ moments, and the real like legendary highlights that we all love and saw as a kid, you know?
Yep. So man, so how? So I'm trying to frame this question the right way. So we're in series 2 right now.
Yeah.
Series 1 has passed. So how much value do you see series 1 and series 2 being in the future?
Well, down the line, I see some series 1 moments I see them going for so much. Like, I could see it being some of the most like, and there's actually 2 perspectives I have on this. One perspective is that people think that owning all series 1 moments is they're just gonna explode in the future, which I think is incorrect to just assume so, because it's people rather, when it comes to this Top Shot stuff, I believe that people rather own more special, memorable moments than just series 1. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it just says series 1. But I do believe that those memorable moments that were minted within series 1, or the rookie moments that were minted within series 1, are going to have exponential value, just crazy amounts of value. I noticed that. I just thought about it. Like, they're going to be doing this series 2, 3, 4. It's going to continuously go, and as time goes on, the series 1 are just going to be, well, some of the most rare cards on the entire platform. Because they're going to be, well, the least amount of cards minted, because they didn't mint so many in their first season doing this. So having those cards, it's going to be having some of the most rare cards in the entire platform in general.
Wow.
But it all just depends on which moment you buy. You can't just assume like, hey, like this regular layup, like I said, by Mason Plumlee series 1 is going to go in the future, because it's just because it's
Plumlee, man.
I hate to hate on Mason Plumlee. Sorry, Mason Plumlee, but it's not the most exciting, you know.
Got you. And so, I mean, I've heard that Top Shot has support by NBA players. Is this true? Have you seen NBA players, especially the younger generation, embrace Top Shot?
Oh yeah. I honestly like the biggest player that promotes it the most, I'd say, is Josh Hart. He is a huge kid. He loved, like, whenever Fortnite was big, he was on Fortnite. He streams. I think he still streams like video games. He just loves like just fun things like on the internet. He loves the internet. So he is like probably like the biggest like promoter of Top Shot out of all the NBA players. But all the like on that last pack drop for the I believe it was the Cool Cats pack drop, Terrence Ross, Cole Anthony, they were on the live stream. They were on the live stream talking about it, opening their packs right then and there. Like, you could actually scroll on the website, the NBA Top Shot website, on the homepage. There's a whole list of NBA players that have accounts. You could see even like there's artists that have, like, Diplo has an account. Who else has an account? That's like Mark Cuban has an account. It's funny. He owns a throwback, run it back Tim Duncan moment. That sells for like,
gosh,
yeah, and it's Mark Cuban. It's so funny because he doesn't even own like a Mavericks player. He owns a.
I was thinking about all the Luka cards.
Yeah, I even saw Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier listed one of his moments for 100K. He owns a moment of himself hitting like a game winner, and he listed that moment for 100K. It's so funny.
Wow.
Yeah, he's listing his own moments. He's listing his own highlights. It's funny. But yeah, it's cool. That's how it's a new world. New things are happening. You know.
So man, I'm gonna propose something to you, man. So you mentioned Mark Cuban. I just want to get your opinion. So I can see Mark Cuban. I consider him an innovative type of guy.
Yeah.
Who's on the new trends.
Mm-hmm.
I can see him doing like a special thing. Hey, the first 5,000 fans in the arena gets a special Kristaps Porzingis NFT moment, and we'll drop it into your account. Like, can you see something like that going on? Because I already know he's with Dogecoin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mark Cuban is a very he's a bright. I would say he's a very bright entrepreneur, and we see this with Shark Tank. He is all for Top Shot, and the fact that he owns a Mavericks team, you are on the ball. I believe that he's gonna promote. They're gonna do collaborations like Top Shot, the NBA, and his team Mavericks. They're gonna obviously give away special moments for those who are in the stadium and in the stands, because those are gonna be some of the rarest. It'll promote.
It's gonna be like 17, 18,000, maybe 5,000. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. That could be. It's just like those are going to be some rare stadium NFTs. Those are crazy. But yeah, I see not only Mark Cuban, because I know that you mentioned that he's like a forward thinking person. I see Gary Vee talking about NFTs and Top Shot all the time. I see who else do I see? I see this guy Chamath. I don't know if you know Chamath is Chamath, but I forgot his last name, Chamath Patir or something. He's huge on NFTs. Well, a bunch of people that are just forward thinking people. They just love NFTs and they love crypto.
So man, so what is your advice to somebody who's kind of getting started with the Top Shot craze? One advice I can say is create your account before drop.
Yeah. Yeah. So advice. 1 second. I'm just gonna. My dog's just squeaking this toy right now. I'm gonna put her inside.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good.
Come here.
Guys, man, look. Comment some questions that you do have. Joseph is just gracious enough to just kind of bless us with some of his knowledge about NBA Top Shot. And thank you guys for watching. And Joseph will be back just in a second. He's back.
All right, awesome. So yeah, I heard you say that if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to take any questions that you guys have. Just leave it in the comments. Cool. But some advice that I would give is I'd definitely say for some people, don't jump in immediately unless you are really confident and you really want to buy a specific player because you are a fan of that player or you really love that highlight. I would say don't jump in immediately on first day figuring out about Top Shot. Just buying expensive moments, expecting them to go up. I'd say really do your research. Try to get a pack first. If obviously it's hard to get a pack, it's not so easy, but try to get a pack first. And then once you have that money in your Dapper because of resells, I'd say keep it in there and really play around with it, because you'll notice that on a first pack you can make over $100 right there, and then right then and there you have $100 to play with. So it can really start your account and just it could turn into a lot if you really play your cards correctly. So just don't be so quick to just buy moments expecting them to go up if they're simple moments, like I said, or just regular moments. You can't just buy anything. It has to be strategic buys.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, man, question. So, what markets is Top Shot in? Is it just the North American market, South American, European? Like what markets are they in?
So, I know that there's a market in Europe. There's a market the biggest market is in the US. South America, I believe it's in South America as well. But like you and I were talking about off camera, the biggest fan base in the entire world for NBA is China.
Yep.
They take us. We think as Americans, we think we're because it's here on our home grounds, we are NBA fans. We are the biggest. No, they have billions of people there, and they like NBA more than we do. So when they get on this, I can't even. First of all, Top Shot they're going to have to be able to withhold hundreds of thousands of people signing up, which is going to be crazy. So that's why it makes sense that they're not, they haven't opened to China yet. But that's something to definitely look out for, is for when China joins Top Shot, because that could make this thing grow just double in size immediately in a couple days. Awesome. So definitely look out for that.
So we do have a question in the chat.
Yeah.
Candace asks, what is your favorite moment in your pack?
Okay, so we were talking about earlier that Vince Carter moment. I actually own that Vince Carter moment. I don't. Wait, but listen, I don't own the legendary one. So they minted two. They minted a common one, which has 3,400 of them, and they minted a legendary one that has I think 50. So I don't own the 51. I do own the common one, but I bought it for I believe I bought it for like a couple $100, like $500 something, and now it's upwards of like, at one point it was at like $4,500, and now it's at like 3K or something like that. It's sitting at like a 3K, but it's just crazy. Like that's how early I was. I noticed the moment, like the advice I give you guys, like own moments that you think have potential in the future. I bought it and it just skyrocketed after that. I just It's a great moment. It's a Vince Carter moment. Like Jacob's saying over there, like it's just like how much will go for in the future. You never know. It all depends on how many people like Vince Carter and how many fans he has. You know.
Yeah, man. Look, you're going to see a jump when he's gets into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
it's coming. 3 or 4 years, it's coming.
It is coming. That's true.
And so, man, quick question. So, what was the actual first card that you did have that you opened?
The first card. So it's funny because I gave advice like to get a pack first or whatever, but I actually was the opposite. I went straight for cards. But the first card I owned was a Brandon Ingram. He posterized somebody. Wow, I forgot the name of this, but it was a Brandon Ingram moment. Only 1,500 moments were minted for it. I bought it for $41. I sold it for like over $400. So
wow.
It was
ROI.
Yeah, return on investment was just crazy. It was like it's 10 times. Like it really was a good investment. I really came early, so pretty much everything I could have bought in that time just went up because of like I saw a huge surge. There was a huge surge a couple months later. Okay. But it that was the first moment I owned, and yeah.
Cool. And so, and there's one more question in the chat, and Candace asked again, how often do packs get released?
So
is it random?
It could be random. So there's like the common packs that we were like talking about earlier in the podcast. Those will occasionally get released randomly. So you'll see that they'll randomly announce a stress test pack, which means that it is a pack, although it won't have really like those badges on them. It won't be like the most special like sought out moments. It will just be more regular common like moments, but they do have awesome moments in there. There's crazy potential for gains in there, and they do drop those randomly. Those rare packs, those legendary packs, those common packs with the badges on them, they'll announce those usually a day or two before.
Okay.
You won't have a full week window or a 2-week window to know about the pack. It's usually pretty randomized. Like usually they'll just like be like, hey, tomorrow at 4:00 there's a pack dropping. So that's why you really have to be quick with it and know about it as quick as possible. Or even if like you're offline for like 2 days, it's very possible that you miss a pack. Like I missed a legendary pack because I was offline for 1 day. I get off my phone, notice that whole phone's blowing up, legendary pack drop. I was like, just like that.
What happened?
$1,000 pack, just like that drop. I'm like, how? 1 day I'm off my phone, like it was crazy. Yeah. It was awesome though. It's cool.
And so I got a question for you, man. So what do you see for the future of Top Shot within the next couple months, even the next year? Just your opinion. Just your opinion.
My opinion. I see Top Shot. I see that people are going to be displaying their Top Shots moments around their house, and it's going to become way more relevant in the upcoming years. This year, I think you're going to see growth. It won't be major growth like we saw in the past like 2 months, but within the next upcoming years, you're going to notice that it's going to become a common thing that people are going to be buying moments for 200K, 300K. It's going to slowly just go up and up. The numbers are going to go up and up and up, and eventually you're going to see sales of millions of dollars. That's what I believe.
Wow.
You're going to see people having the companies creating crazy ways of displaying your NFTs. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's this company called Infinite Objects. They just released this like frame. You could play your NFT within the video, and it'll have it constantly playing on a loop, and you can just put it on your wall. So I think that's gonna as the industry of NFTs displays expands, so will Top Shot, because then people will walk into homes, and you're gonna see some guy point at a video that's on his wall and be like, "Hey, I bought that wall. I bought that for 100K." Like it's gonna people are gonna start knowing about it more because people are gonna be displaying their NFTs and talking about it way more as Top Shot grows and as the sales just grow higher and higher and more moments get minted.
And so also, man, I know NFTs are kind of getting big in the art community as well.
Yeah.
And somebody did have a question. One of my partners in under construction.
Mhm.
I know recently Dapper signed up with the UFC, correct?
Yep. UFC.
And are other sports on deck? Are they implementing something on their own?
Yeah. So I know that from what I've heard, this is what I've heard. There's a company called eComi, and they actually have the licensing with like DC. Their app is called VV, I believe, and VV, yeah, like VE. And what they do is they sell NFTs right now for Justice League characters, pretty much like all those characters that are, it's just like simple NFTs of like cartoon, like just Justice League characters. And I believe they have the licensing with NFL. So they might do NFL highlights. We don't know what they're going to do, but that's just very interesting. I know there's another NFT website for soccer, although this one is very interesting. It's called SoRare.
I've heard of that before.
Yeah. So this one is interesting. They don't actually sell NFTs as highlights. What they do is they sell you individual players, and then you will own that player, the NFT of that player, and then you will actually compete with other people with your players versus against their players. So it's almost like a fantasy. It's like a fantasy, but with you have real ownership of your players. Like there are rarities. It's very hard to get players. You become your own sports manager for your team, and you are literally competing with random people within the world and within the community.
Oh wow.
Their player versus, yeah, that one's very interesting. That has like a whole new concept. They're really big, so rare. I believe they're third on like, there's this website called what is it again? It's called I forgot what it's It's called Crypto Slam, sorry. And it tells you the rankings of like all the biggest NFT websites that are and how much sales they made in a day. And SoRare is usually third on the list or fourth on the list even.
Oh wow.
Number one, yeah. But it's just
footballers worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide. I think that SoRare has the potential to honestly become the biggest NFT website.
Oh wow!
Because soccer is, like you said, worldwide. I think they have the potential to just grow massive. Americans are a little more open to new ideas than the Europeans are. That's what I've noticed. So that's why SoRare is probably moving at a slower scale than Top Shot. But I believe that SoRare has it has great potential. It can blow up in the future to like becoming one of the biggest NFT websites there are.
Gotcha. So before I let you go, I have one more thought.
Mm-hmm.
So can you see Top Shot kind of partnering with NBA 2K with moments?
Oh yes, I actually do. I think that because I know that there's a 2K league these days, right?
Yep.
So I actually see, because NFTs and Top Shot and just like coins in general, they're very video game, like within that whole community, the Discord, the video game community. I see them partnering with video game companies, like NFTs with video game companies, and just affiliating themselves with 2K and Live or whatever it is, and just figuring out ways to just incorporate their system with their system and collaborating. I think there's so much opportunity there, and there's a huge potential of just creating a cool product with that. So I don't see why they wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't create a partnership together, but I would definitely expect in the near future 2K involvement in NFTs and NBA Top Shot in general.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, Joseph, man, thank you so much for joining me today, man.
Of course, thank you for having
me. You explained Top Shot to us. You got us excited.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that's watching you should buy a pack.
Yeah,
if I get enough, I might even gift you a pack. Not a pack, but a moment. I might gift you a moment. But Joseph, where can people find you at?
Okay, so I have a lot of social. Thank God, I got a lot of places where you can find me. On Twitter, I'm NBA Top Shot News 1. On Instagram, I'm NBA Top Shot News, and on my YouTube, I'm Top Shot Talk. And on TikTok, I'm NBA Top Shot News. So most of the time, I'm NBA Top Shot News. That's where you really will find me. That's my main ticker, my main handle. Cool. And yeah, you guys can feel free to DM me whenever you want. I try to be as responsive as possible. I give advice. I will send you guys recordings with responses, like genuine advice that I think will pertain to you and your account. So I love helping everyone out. So just message me, DM me whenever you want. Feel free. I love helping everyone. That's that's why I'm here.
Cool. Joseph, got any parting words?
Well, let's get this thing to the moon. Let's keep going up and up. And I hope that our moments grow, and I hope our moments go up in value. And I hope that we're all really early to a game that's just forever gonna just grow and just NFT world in general just grow and just become the future. I really hope that we really are in the beginning of something that is the future, you know?
All right.
That's everyone that that we're happy that we're in the beginning, you know?
Gotcha. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate Joseph for coming on.
Thank
And
you.
I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon. Peace out. Under construction.